Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Lodge, favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite is everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasups.com, discount code TDL for 35% off. All right, so Matt, we have a win.
First wins in September that nobody wanted to get.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's a win. I'm sure the players are happy though. The players are probably super relieved right now. They're just tired of losing. Yeah. I bet they're gonna have a good time in the locker room today. They're gonna really appreciate this win. Because wins are tough in the NFL.
Do you smoke a victory cigar when you get your third win
I don't think so.
December?
I don't think we do
3 days
cigars.
before Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think we do victory cigars. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't do that. But they're really gonna appreciate it. They're gonna be like, really happy about that. Pulled it out. They pulled out a win. It was an ugly game to watch. It really was.
Yeah.
It was very sloppy on both sides of the football. But the Raiders pulled it out after looking like they were about to blow it. they showed some heart. You know what I mean?
Jack Jones tried his hardest.
Jack Jones tried his hardest, man. Like, you got Raider Ryder. He said they have no clear damn path at all, plan at all. I mean, I don't know if they have a plan to tank. I mean, this is football, man. You plan to tank, you will get hurt. Let's keep it real. This isn't basketball where you can just like shoot threes all day or some shit. You know what I mean? You're gonna get hit in full speed. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. I mean, we'll see, man. They still got the Saints and still got the Chargers. I mean, I think we talked about this in the previous show. I think that there's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they could easily win 3 in a row to end the year and then fall. Let's see if they get 2 more wins. I mean, New Orleans is sitting at 10 right now at 5-9, and they'd be behind them because they'd have the quote unquote tiebreaker between them. So yeah, they could fall from. We could be sitting here for the last 2 months talking about the number 1 overall pick, and they could end up 11 at 11. That is realistic. I mean, I guess Tennessee. No, yeah, because if they win the next 2, yeah, like that could happen when the wind goes wrong.
Yeah, I mean. I don't know what people expected. I mean, they got the Jaguars and the Saints, and they got the Chargers who are going to kind of just who knows.
I mean, like
they have shirred up. They're not gonna play Justin Herbert and those guys. And maybe Jim Harbaugh might do that and be like, hey, we want to establish ourselves.
We want to establish the winning culture and play the starters. I mean, I feel like that's the biggest hope you have right now because again, like we talked about it in the preview. I know that wasn't our most viewed episode before, not any of our fault of our own, but just that's the way the season's gone. But
yeah,
like this Jags team was bad, and they lived up to that hype. The Tank Bowl as a whole lived up to the hype, where it seemed like at times no team, like both teams, were trying to lose this game. And then, I mean, like you said, I think the next few games, and I think we talked about that there. The next few games are very winnable. This is looking bleak for the quarterback situation. I don't know. We'll have to be firing up those second round guys anyway. In the draft where we didn't think we had to do or trade up. So
yeah, you know what I mean. So we'll see here, man. I know people want the Raiders to tank, but the players are going to tank. So that's the thing, guys. You guys, this is that's what I'm talking about. This is football. This is not basketball.
As someone who was rooting for the tank and like honestly did not want to see them win, I'll come out and admit that. Like, I get it. I say that from my perspective, but I get it from the people in the building's perspective of not only like, is it your job on the line if you start losing and you start playing like it's terrible? It's easier for me to say when, again, my employment matters very little on the result of the game.
They're going to play
but
hard.
It is like from my perspective, it is frustrating. But yeah, I get it from them. And like you said too, like you can't just go out. It's a physical sport. You can't just go out and roll over. You will get hurt. And then of course, from AP's perspective too, who's fighting for his job. So
But
it does suck when it's like, man, they really need a quarterback, and they might be playing themselves out of it. Or Aiden O'Connell is doing his best to play his way out of it and make sure they don't get anyone.
So the thing is too, how many teams in front of him are taking the quarterback?
Well, right now, I think Cleveland and Tennessee, the
You
Titans.
think Cleveland takes one or do you really think so? Do you
I
really
don't know
think
if it takes them for sure, but if we're talking about there's only two real quarterbacks, and we know the Giants are taking one, and we got a pretty
so?
good
Okay.
idea that the Titans are taking one with them benching Will Levis ahead of this week.
Do
Like,
the Titans take one, or do the Titans go get Sam
do they
Darnold?
roll? I mean, maybe, but I feel
See,
like
like
that's the
that.
thing.
Go
That's the
ahead.
problem, though. Is like you don't want to sit there and you don't want to have these hypotheticals because the other thing that you have to worry about too is the team like the Jets trading up or the Saints trading up.
Yeah. See, I don't think the
Just to
NFL
be in
likes
the
these quarterbacks
position.
like this, where it's,
Yeah,
it's like where these teams that have like a quarterback, conundrum, or maybe they feel like they might be a quarterback away, are going to want to get these guys. That's what I think too.
I'm just
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
I hear you, and like there could be a
A
situation
lot of
where or
assuming, yeah.
Shador or Cam Ward falls to 6 where they're at right now if the Raiders do lose out, and maybe even 10. Like we could be like the what was it, Kenny Pickett's here where we kind of force it with some of these quarterbacks, and the NFL was way off on where everyone else was.
Mhm.
But it would be nice to be in a position where like you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to
Yeah,
pray like to hope that happens because the
yeah,
Raiders were in a spot last year where like hope somebody one of those top 6 quarterbacks would fall to them, and we saw what happened.
yeah. I don't know. When you got like Will Johnson and Mason Graham and some of these other guys and like Travis Hunter and all these other dudes that are like studs on the defense side of the ball, Abdul Carter's, things like that. And the NFL is just not on as high as on these quarterbacks as like fans are. That's why like I wouldn't expect this team's going to like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it's just not like that this year. It's not like last year where it's
yeah,
like, like yeah, that guy's gonna do that. We're all assuming because we think everybody loves quarterbacks, and I mean we see how that goes sometimes. Some teams just don't do it. So that's just my thing. Nobody knows how this draft's gonna go in December. It never goes the way that people think it's gonna go in December. So like
it's
that
fair.
like which I understand, and I understand that people want to pick it number 2 or whatever, and I understand that, but I just don't think the NFL teams are going to super QB needy at this point. But we'll see. I could be wrong, but it's just not like what year I'm thinking. It's just I don't know. Just the way the NFL is talking about these guys, it's not the same way as we are. So that's what
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. So the Raiders could be at 7, and one of those guys might just fall right to 7 or fall right to 5, just because the way it is at this point. You know what I mean? Like it's just the dynamics of this draft have not happened yet. Like I would say, 2014, at this point right now, Teddy Bridgewater was the number 1 pick in the draft. And people will
yeah.
be in these comments telling me that we're going to draft Teddy Bridgewater, and Teddy Bridgewater went 32. So that's what I'm saying. Like this is a process. I think we just gotta, we don't know how the season's gonna end. I just wouldn't freak out yet. That's basically what I'm just telling people. Chill out. We don't know. We don't know.
That's
Maybe
very
the NFL
fair.
doesn't like Cam Ward, and the Cam Ward just fall. You know what I'm saying? You don't know these things right now. So we just gotta sit and wait, basically. But we get the Saints and the Chargers. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's time to do a little bit of coping once you look at the schedule, or just hope that Derek Carr just comes out and his body just heals. You know what I mean?
But he had some miraculous recovery right before the biggest game he's probably had circled on his calendar all season.
I don't know, man. He just might come out and play, bro. He might just come out and play. You never know. So yeah, I just I just wouldn't get into like, oh, it's over. Like we don't know yet. We don't know what's gonna happen. Say Will Johnson might go out there and run up like a 4-3, and they're like, oh God, you know what I'm saying? And
Do
these type of things. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, the game happened. Let's talk about the game here. Um, Raiders won
we have to?
19-14. I mean, I guess we have to, right? I mean,
We,
it's
we
the
can do it.
reaction to the
Yeah,
game, right? Right.
yeah.
So the Raiders win 19-14. They did try to lose. So I mean, you guys can, they did try to lose. Jack Jones with his I don't know what the hell he was doing on there. I
Well,
just looked at
there was at least another time too where he got beat by Brian Thomas, BTJ, and then did it happen twice before that? Before the touchdown, and one Mac Jones missed him, the other time he dropped it. I think it happened twice. I know Brian Thomas got loose twice or 3 times, and then it just connected on the one. But yeah, that was that was one of my big takeaways. Is again, this Jags team was about as bad as we thought offensively, and I mean, it's great. The Raiders defense did step up, but they also got a little bit. They also got lucky with playing who they were. The
Yeah.
secondary definitely got bailed out. And two, at the end of that game with the holding call on 4th and 1, which I mean, obviously that helped them get it, but if that doesn't happen, then who knows? Maybe the Jags end up winning, and then Mac Jones checking it down on 4th down, 4th and 11 with the game on the line.
Yeah, I mean, the play of the game was Aiden O'Connell. Mr. Athleticism today.
Yeah,
You see all the athleticism he was showing today, man. I mean, he was running for first downs, scrambling, hitting Brock Bowers and scrambles, moving the ball, getting first downs and scrambles, and it's 3rd and 4. He's rolling out and he's finding Brock Bowers for 5 yards, and he's running for first downs, and then he's on 3rd down, he's breaking a tackle and just throwing it up to Mir Abdullah. Mir Abdullah makes a great play. That's you said he having his Davis Mills moment. So that was definitely I mean, I thought he was getting sacked. I'm like, oh, this game's over. Raiders are done. And this dude just spins out of it and just throws it up. And Abdullah comes out with it. I was like, and as soon as that happened, I'm like, oh, they're winning this game. That's what I was like. Oh, yeah, they're gonna win. That's just
yeah.
That type of luck hasn't happened all year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think Aiden today, I think that was the one like positive takeaway from him. He didn't play anywhere near, I thought, a perfect game. But the fact that like you saw him move and he was coming off a knee injury where he got carted off 2 weeks ago. All right, there's a little bit of promise. Or if he's building some momentum, or so as far as evaluating him, like that was the nice thing to see, is like Aiden O'Connell finally showing some mobility and finally showing some escapability in the pocket to create some plays, which
Yes. Yeah, it's just yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're still running Madison. I don't know what they're doing with that, because they run Abdullah and Abdullah would get like 6 yards every time, I feel like. And then they would run Madison, and I still don't understand why he keeps playing. I get it now, but like I feel like Abdullah should keep getting the carries at this point for the rest of the season. Brock Bowers, he had another great game. He's catching everything. I mean, he started off kind of sloppy, had a couple drops at the beginning, but after that, he just started catching everything and looking like Brock Bowers. So he was pretty good. I thought the offensive line didn't play very well. We'll see that on film. I think Parham struggled a lot.
Mason Smith gave him a game. And Mason Smith hasn't done that all year, I don't think.
He had a career. He had a second sack of the year, and he was just balling today. Yeah. You know what I mean? He was balling. Mason Smith.
Yeah.
I watched the film. There was not, those guys got no penetration for the most part. And today they're just beating up this Raiders offensive line. So I think the offensive line didn't play that well. We'll see the film with that one, but yeah, I think it was more like Aiden O'Connell was just better. Is better than Mac Jones. I mean, it's really what it is.
Yeah,
he's probably better than Spencer Rattler. We'll see though.
Yeah. We'll see tonight. Rattler be on the big stage tonight on Sunday Night Football, but
the Saints are no. That's Monday Night
or football. Sunday night. They're Sunday Night Football. Yeah, or no? Is it? Yeah, no. Saints are Monday Night Football against Green Bay.
Okay,
they haven't played yet.
I don't.
It's yeah.
I mean, it's Bucks versus Cowboys, anyways. I don't know what the hell that is. Sunday Night Football, anyways. Why didn't they flex that? There's no flexing. Like, who wants
the Cowboys? Are the cash? The Cowboys are the cash cow, and the Bucks are at least in the playoff run.
Who the hell wants?
People love the Cowboys, man. It's not a competitive game, but people are going to tune in for the Cowboys games. Because you either love them, or you want to see them lose.
That is crazy. I don't know. That's the stupidest Sunday night game. It's the most uninteresting Sunday night. Nobody wants to watch Cooper Rush, bro. Like, I guess there's no other good games this week. But you know what I mean.
Well, they flexed all the good games out to Saturday because they want to play on Christmas Day.
Yeah, which is weird.
Like we could have Steelers Ravens tonight, or we could have Chiefs Texans tonight. Instead, they played on Saturday to compete with the college football playoff.
Bucks Cowboys
in the middle of the day. Yeah, Bucks Cowboys instead.
Yeah, the college football playoff was terrible this week. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
a beat down.
So true
everywhere. So I mean, defense. I'm saying they didn't do anything on defense either. I mean, they played the run well, like kind of.
Yeah, they stepped up against the run. Like I said, I think they got a little bit of help, especially with more in the passing game. But Walker Buehler going down, or not Walker Buehler, Walker Little going down, and what was that, like the first drive of the game? And then they got a little bit of pass rush to help get Mac Jones to panic back there. And then I definitely think they played better against the run. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but there wasn't a Bijan Robinson running for over 5 yards a carry, nearly 6 yards a carry. But and then Paul Mao had a pretty good game. I mean, 2 forced fumbles on back-to-back drives. He was a guy who did have a boost. So other than that, it was about the only notable play, I felt like. And Merrick again keeps showing up, keep popping up.
Yeah. Yeah. Merrick's balling. That's what I'm saying. Merrick's playing for a contract, so he's not going to stop playing hard. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He's not going to give up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just the way it is. I mean, the Raiders got, if you wanted, the top 5 pick, I mean, they got unlucky and they got a bunch of backup quarterbacks coming up. You know what I mean? So it's just the way it is, and these guys could keep playing hard. And Chason had a good game. He continues to play hard.
Yeah, almost had his second pick in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
again.
Yeah, what I'm saying? I just don't know what to say. You know what I mean? I just you can't, like, I to be honest, when I watched the Jaguars, I felt like they're gonna win this game. So that's I kind of knew it going into this. Like, the Raiders are gonna win this game just because this team was worse than them. Even when I posted on Twitter, some people were like, "There's no way." Like, no, you guys don't understand.
It was bad.
This team is bad. If the Raiders didn't have all these stupid penalties in certain situations, I even said, like, Ada calls, he's going to get to 250. It's going to be like one of those games where you're just going to be happy, but you're not going to be happy about it. But that's just the way the schedule pulled out. And, I think the AP thing with, like, him playing backup quarterbacks and them averaging like 15 points a game, like the end of the season, is going to be pretty funny because, they're the last 2 games, they haven't given up more than 15 points. Here we go.
Defense, the last month of the season resurgence.
Oh, man. 15. The first is going to be like week 1 through 14, week 15 through 18, AP, turn the defense around.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it right now. I was curious. Like 3 out of the last 4 games have been less than 20 points.
You know what I mean? He's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Oh, this is funny. Because it's just people's reaction to a win is just hilarious to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I get it, but it's just funny to me. It's just the way it happens. It's the way it's gonna happen, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
NFL teams just don't tank. I guess that's the message here that I'm trying to say. It's just NFL teams don't tank. This isn't the Sixers where they could just, like, throw up shots.
Yeah, jobs are on the line, and like one game matters a lot more when it's only 16. You know what I mean? Like when you're in basketball and you lose all these games, like you play 82 games, like it matter. Like you can tank a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because at some point, like one win's not going to make a difference. But when it's the denominator is smaller and it's only 16 or 17, yeah, people start getting their jobs on the lines. People start playing for a little more pride.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, but the thing is, like, a real question we could talk about, like, if AP does win these games, does that save his job?
I would kind of hope not, because if he win, like if they bought stock in a 3-game win streak against what could be 3 backup quarterbacks, like that would, like the fact that like that's like what would give him the job would not make me feel confident. It's like, yes, you won, but at the same time, like you kind of should have won, and it's too little, too late at this point. Like if Mark Davis was gonna fire AP and like was just letting him finish out the season, like I feel like you got to stick to your guns no matter what, no matter how these games end. Like I would rather see him stick to his decision. And put it this way: if he apparently made the decision on Rich Bisaccia before they made the playoffs, and that around Thanksgiving in November when they went on that like losing streak, and then even though they made the playoffs, he still fired him. If he reversed course and let AP keep his job after a 3-game win streak against Mac Jones, Spencer Rattler, and maybe who is it, Heineke over there in the Chargers, I'd be pretty disappointed.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because I tell you, like, this, if Mark has some kind of relationship with AP that maybe he gives him some grace, you know what I'm saying? It's you don't know, and
Yeah.
it's.
But I guess
I'm
my
just saying
point is more. I guess my point
it
is,
just opens the door for it more, right?
yeah,
For him to
yeah.
return, especially. I think I still think the media backlash that I don't think people see will coming, especially if they win the last 3 games and he gets fired. I think it will be there'll be a little bit of media backlash against the Raiders, and I don't know if Mark really wants to deal with that.
I
And
feel like it'd be either way. If you brought back a coach that again went 2 months without winning, or damn near 3 months without winning, like I feel like there'd be backlash with that too. But I see what you're saying. For me, I guess the way I look at it is I just hope, and I don't know if we'll ever be able to like know this for sure. I would just hope that Mark Davis would stick with the decision that he had made, at the end of last week's game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, where like I just wouldn't want to hear like, oh yeah, a 3 game win streak at the end of the year was the reason why he ended up keeping AP, because again, it would be a fake 3 game win streak, for being real. Big 3 game
yeah,
win streak against some very, very bad teams, and not the
I
standard that
agree.
people want to have.
I do agree. I agree with that. Like, you know, I mean, me personally, I do think the Raiders should move on, right, and try to figure out something else and kind of just, I mean, start over because even with you look at AP, right? I mean, they still have basically the same staff as they have with Josh McDaniels, right? Patrick Graham, Scott Turner. I mean, I think the DB coaches and those guys aren't really different. Um, they really basically have the same staff. I mean, they changed the offensive staff, of course, but they have the same staff basically. It's not like when AP became the coach, it was a total revamp of this
Yeah.
coaching staff, right? I mean, like I said, I mean, Scott Turner was here in 2020. I mean, 2023. He's here this year. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like
And
Patrick Graham is still here. All these guys are still here. So I think like it really hasn't been a restart, in my opinion. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that brings up another question of like, okay, like we know the offense isn't good enough. So like if you're gonna bring back AP, are you gonna keep Scott Turner at offensive coordinator, or are you gonna wipe house with your offensive staff because of what you're talking about, where it's like, oh, they haven't really made any changes in the offensive staff, they're still not seeing results. So you come in, makes these sweeping changes again, maybe thinking you're getting a new quarterback and you want to get somebody in that you trust. But at the same time, if you keep AP and you want to bring in a new staff, who's going to want to sign up to be attached to AP after the way this season like went down? You know what I mean? Like, because if you take this job, like if you took this job as a offensive coordinator, you'd have to go into it thinking like there's a chance I get fired after a year because again, I know the coach I'm going to go work for ended the season on the hot seat, so he's going to start next season on the hot seat. If we don't start out of the gates well, then I could be looking for a new job in another year, and
Yeah.
that's my concern too. Whereas like yes, like the offensive staff didn't change over, but who are you going to be able to get to replace them? And like, are you confident that they're going to make that much of a difference that we're not sitting here next year saying who's going to be the head coach and who's going to be the new offensive staff? That would be my concern. My almost reason more, again, to move on from AP even more is like, do you want to just get that fresh start, or do you want to keep running it back with a coach that at best is going to go 5-12 and going to be having questions about his job in the next season?
Yeah, I agree. But that's the kind of thing that people don't talk about a lot. This is really the same coaching staff. Like this is not like this wasn't like a full on change. I mean, AP was the linebacker coach for Josh McDaniels. You know what I mean? Like this is basically the same exact staff with a different leader, and the leader doesn't work out. So that's what they need. I think they need to revamp to the whole staff, and
Yeah.
that's why I kind of feel like moving on from AP is the way to go, because I still think we're like in the Patriots way but looser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like
A little bit, yeah.
The Patriots way hasn't like fully left the building. It's like like the head, the head menace of the Patriots way is gone, but the Patriots way is like still the vibes is still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Patriots still in the building to a sense.
Yeah, you
know
got
what I mean? One foot in the door.
And then they brought in Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just bullshit here. All right, let's get these questions. Let me get out here. Can Dylan Gabriel be the answer? People love Dylan Gabriel, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I think Dylan Gabriel's solid. And I think he's probably a little bit better than what you might have thought like going into the season and even maybe a few weeks ago. But I just feel like he's like so limited both physically and with his arm strength. Like If you look at his numbers, especially when he starts throwing like down the field and outside of the numbers, which is where you really have to have a hose, like they drop off pretty well. So I think I think he's a decent quarterback, but I just don't see him being a great starter in the NFL because he is so limited with, again, his size and his low average arm, I'll say.
Yeah. I don't think he goes. He'll go in the fifth, just like every other backup buzz quarterback that we always talk about, like Spencer Rattler. They always go in the fifth. Like, oh, he's gonna go to second. I'm sure to be because they might win that championship. Let's keep it real. They're probably the best team in the country, right? And this give you this buzz. Teams really like him. I think he could go in the second, and he'll go in the fifth, just like they always do. So maybe you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, yeah. It's like the Stetson Bennett effect. Like Stetson Bennett, I mean, he wasn't ever really considered a pro, but he went the fourth, and after winning back-to-back natties, so he got one round boost after winning two.
Yeah, which was just crazy high for Stetson Bennett. That was crazy, but
yeah, that was ridiculous.
Question on head coach, QB, and OC. So what's the plan? I mean,
I got good ones.
Sometimes I just don't tell you guys. You just cannot tell these guys. You can't tell these guys not to play hard. Like you could want them to lose, but they're gonna have to lose just naturally. And I know.
I don't know. I'm curious what you think about this, Marcus. And because someone asked me about this, and I kind of grew myself on this idea. If you hire, say, like a Joe Brady, who was young and probably looking for an opportunity, and say you could get like a Cam Ward, where if you look at like Joe Brady, what type of quarterbacks does he really excel with? The guys that can make the off-script plays and do the extra stuff that can also get them into trouble. Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. I mean, granted, he didn't make Josh Allen. Josh Allen was already good, but Josh Allen's been playing like an MVP candidate the last really 2 seasons that he took over, a year and a half that he took over. Like, I would be very intrigued by that pairing of getting a young head coach who, again, is worked with quarterbacks that have a similar style and that can do those sorts of things on the off-script plays, and Cam Ward, who's the best one at it in this year's draft class. That would be interesting to me. Not saying it would work out, but I'd be very intrigued going into next season and have a little bit more hope about the direction if that's was the route they go in. I'm kind of selling myself on that.
Yeah. I mean, with the coach next year, I know that Vrabel stuff's dying down for a lot of fans. What Vrabel, but it will probably, if they wanted to go offense, it would have to be somebody that we're not thinking of right now. Like nobody's like really pushing. Like in my opinion, like it could be like Frank Smith from Miami, something like crazy like that. If it's going to be offense, just because it's. I don't know if an offensive guy is going to just like a hot one, like Ben Johnson or something like that. He's not going to want to come here, especially if they, it depends. Like a Ben Johnson might want, like, I can go get a veteran and I can make something out of it, if he did come here. But any offensive guy, that's always the danger of offensive guy. Like people like talking about offensive guys, but if he's very arrogant, he's like, just get me this veteran.
Get me Jalen Milroe. I can work on his accuracy. Yes. I just want that arm strength and that speed.
Something, you know what I mean? It could be like. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. So who are they getting at QB then? See that I'm just telling you. I think the buzz on Twitter is different than the actual buzz for quarterbacks. So I just don't think being at 6 keeps them from getting because Shador. But I don't know if some teams are going to take Cam Ward. I don't know if that's going to happen. So, and I would take Cam Ward. So I mean, I'm cool with that. So who knows how that's going to go?
So you're saying you think Shador would be the one to fall to 6?
No, I think Cam Ward.
You think Cam Ward would fall?
Uh-huh.
Or do you think both of them would be there? Do you think the Giants, the Titans, and the Browns pass?
No, I think the Giants are going to take one because they have to. I mean, the Mara family won't let them get out of there.
Yeah, I think so too. But that's what I'm saying is like now you have one legit first-round option with 2 teams that might be taking a quarterback. Like, I mean, again, we'll see how free agency goes. Like, I could see Sam Darnold going to the Titans, but I feel like the Browns got to get a quarterback with how the season went with Deshaun. Because on top of it, Deshaun's been injured for him, and they can't rely on him.
They owe him a lot of money, man. I mean, I just think that's
Falcons owe Kirk Cousins a ton of money, and they're still moving on from him. It happens.
Yeah, but are the Browns that see you're putting a lot of smarts here into the Browns. I think you know
I mean,
Jimmy
I
has some
think that
things. I don't know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like we don't know because like Will Johnson and Abdul Carter and these guys are out there, and they might make some rounds here where they're kind of these guys are like, well, I could get this freakish dude. He runs like because Abdul Carter is gonna kill the combine, right? I mean, we know that, right?
yeah,
He's crazy, like every Penn State guy. Will Johnson, if he gets healthy, he's gonna have a great combine. These guys, these defensive players might start to get pushed up a little bit, and I don't know. It's just nothing's for sure right now, and teams do things. So I'm not gonna. I'm just not on with how these quarterbacks are listed on people's boards, on people's things, and all these things. I am not like for sure that they can't get a quarterback at 6. That's just what I'm saying right now. It just doesn't seem easy, right? But it's not a for sure thing because like any draft board I've seen, like from Todd McShay to Brugler, all these guys are outside of their top 10 players. So
yeah.
you know what I mean. So who knows how the NFL feels about it? And I don't know. We'll see. Though people love quarterbacks though. So
It kind of sounds like you're just trying to convince yourself that that someone will be there.
I'm just saying it's a possibility, and I mean I am trying to convince myself, but it's a possibility, but I do think that like I don't know. It's just there's all types of things. The draft could happen. It could get crazy, man. That's all I'm saying. I just it's not always a bad thing. All right, here we go. Are you disappointed? You can't even lose when needed.
I mean, like I said at the beginning, I get it from the players and the coaches and the people in that building's perspective, but yeah, I am a little disappointed. I was hoping they
Yeah,
could lose out.
of course we're disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see your argument where like someone could slide to 6, but I would like to be at 2 to be more comfortable.
Yeah, but I'm just being realistic. I'm just gotta keep it real here, Matt. I'm trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to lift people's spirits up who are upset about this win. So I'm trying to be positive here, lift some spirits here.
I just want to tear one down. Tear everyone down with me.
Would you rather Raiders overdraft a QB or go BPA? I don't. I'd rather the Raiders just do what the hell the Raiders want to do at this point.
Yeah.
Just do something.
I mean, I'll say this. If it's one of the top 2, then I'd kind of rather see them go with like one of the quarterbacks just because I think that position is so important that it trumps BPA when you do have a need at it. But if those 2 guys are gone, then yeah, it's the best player available. Don't reach for a Jalen Milroe or
a Carson Beck
or a Carson Beck or a Jackson Dart. I don't want to see that. But if it's one of the top 2 guys where you're like, okay, these guys are at least decent, and like I have a little bit more confidence in them, I'd rather see them go with them. Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to see Sanders running for his life on the fly? I mean, that might happen. He does hold the ball a long time, so who knows? But I mean, the offensive line might get better. Against the Jags. Okay, we already kind of talked about that one. How many of these losses have just been horrible QB play from the Raiders? I mean,
at least 9 or 10 of them, I'd say. I mean
both the Broncos
QB?
games. Both the Broncos games. I'll say that. Both
Yeah.
the Broncos losses are because of terrible quarterback play.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because of terrible quarterback play, but I would say in like at least 9 out of 10 of the losses, like it's been terrible quarterback play.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Why would now the 6th NFL adopts the NBA tank? See, I mean, you say you can't. The NFL players are not going to tank. Trayvon Moore is going to keep making them tackles, man. He's going to keep playing the box, keep blitzing. Can't stop it. I don't know what to tell you. That's the thing. Is Scott Turner doing that bad? I'm not seeing it. I mean,
I think you got to get results. You got to get results.
And they suck in the red zone too. Like they're awful in the red zone. That's the thing with Scott Turner. He got some cool schemes though. He does some cool stuff, but it's just, can I answer that question? Is there a typical number 1 QB even in this draft? I see with Sanders and Ward, which is the only 2 guys, but there's still a Carson Beck injury run playing with the injury, showing how tough he is to the national championship. There's still that there. But I do think Sanders has the higher floor, and Ward has the higher ceiling. It's just some people want the floor. Yeah. Some people want Want the Bo Nix guy comes out right away, like Bo Nix, and just runs your offense really well, And then some guys want the, Caleb Williams, and maybe he does some ugly stuff. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? But like year 3, you're like, oh wow, you know what I mean? That's the thing,
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about that, man? I don't know.
I mean, I'm kind of with it. Like, I lean towards the latter of like, let's say the guy that has the more talent, because I think in the long run that usually ends up working out better. But I get the mentality of let's get the better player right now, the more sure thing. Let's make the safer pick. But I'd rather take the gamble. Again, not my job that's on the line, so I get it. But I like the gamble of going for the guy with the higher ceiling.
Yeah, me too. Take a gamble. You know what I mean? He might, because I'm saying, as I'm saying, Sanders are probably better year 1. But it's more about, that's why when you do scouting, it's a 3-year projection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, who wants this head coaching job that would be effective if you don't even have a top 5 pick? I mean, somebody's going to take it, guys. I mean, come on. It's an NFL job. It's just not going to be like the hot guy. It's just not going to be like Ben Johnson, who's doing like fake stumbles. This guy's stumbling, dude. It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be Ben Johnson, right? That's basically what I'm saying. But the thing is, if they interview well and they get the right leader, it could be somebody that nobody can think of that might be a good head coach. Like Kevin O'Connell was not like, oh my God, Kevin O'Connell's a great head. You know what I mean? Man, the Vikings are 13-2 with Sam Darnold. So, Sam Darnold's about to get the bag. He's getting $40 million. At this point, Sam Darnold's getting $40 million. Kevin O'Connell got him $40 million. He's getting 2 quarterbacks back-to-back, $40 million that maybe don't deserve it. We'll see if Sam Darnold does next year. But, so if they go get Joe Brady or something like that, and they're like, wow, that works out.
Yeah, I think they can get I feel like with the 6th pick, again, they have to stick at the 6th pick, and where they're at, like in the draft, I feel like you'd still get a Joe Brady, a Liam Cohen, maybe a Bobby Slowick or something like that, where you get one of these young offensive minds that would be interested in it. If they can get like a quarterback if they feel like they can get their hands on a quarterback that they can mold.
See, you got the Bucs OC, Liam Cohen, right?
Yeah, Liam Cohen.
And the Raiders are in the position where they can trade up. So I mean, you just got to give them some 1st-round picks.
Yeah.
So we'll see. If the Raiders at 6, I'm just telling we got to root for Abdul Carter to run a 4-3. That's what you guys. We need Abdul Carter and Will Johnson to get healthy. We need to pray for Will Johnson to get his ankle ready. For the combine. We need who else? Travis Hunter. He's going top 5, right?
Territory. McMillan from Arizona. He has a good.
Yeah,
he runs a good time.
If he runs a good time, you know what I'm saying. We need some of these other guys to have a great combine. So we're rooting. We're at the point we might have to start rooting for some great combine performances. That's all I'm saying. Go McMillan. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Will Campbell. Or one of these tackles. You know what I'm saying? The tackles get pushed up a little bit. Somebody takes a tackle. You know what I mean?
Mason Graham too could slide up there.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just trying to be positive here. That's all I'm doing. Man. I don't know. Anything else? Any last thoughts, Matt?
That's about it, man. I mean, again, frustrating. I've never been so disappointed in a win, but hey, I guess we enjoy it. We get to enjoy the first victory film of in 3 months, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, for real, man. Draft season content will be coming. We're gonna be getting that, man. We're going to Senior Bowl and shit like that again. So we'll be there doing all that stuff. So that'll be coming. But yeah, we're out of here, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. We are out of here. Peace.